So welcome everyone to the GrowCast Show. This is episode number 31 and I'm your host today, Bam Hardy. And we have another special guest in today. His name is Darien Lee and he's a personal wealth manager at Phillip Capital. Welcome, Darien.
Hi, Bam. I'm very happy to be here.
Yeah, it's nice to have you here as well. That's brilliant. So Darien, what does being better than normal mean to you?
Personally, I think being better than normal, my own definition is to lead a better than normal life, or what most people call a good life. I think my parents, people that I talk to, they all want to lead a good life. And a lot of them, when they lead a good life is when they work hard for that many years and when they retire and they say, we want to travel around the world. And I think that's a good life to them. But for me, when I think about it, I think that a good life have many other definitions. Everyone have their own definitions. And I was finding, what's my definition and my life purpose. So I came across this book, by Richard Ledler and David Shapiro. It's called Repackaging Your Bags. And they have good definition of good life there. Of course, everyone have their own, but this is just a working definition. And he mentioned that a good life is, living in the place you belong, with people you love, doing the right work on purpose. And I really resonate with this definition. And living in a place you belong is just, maybe in Singapore, maybe in other parts of the world, it's a place that you really can express yourself. You can feel safe expressing your opinions about. And with people you love, just the people that you love, it will bring you happiness and doing the right work as well, which is doing something that you're passionate about, something of your interest, something that you think, can help others around you and on purpose, which is it must be very intentional, I feel. And that's my definition of being better than normal, to lead a better than normal life, or we call a good life.
Wow, very well elaborated. I like the answer. That's excellent. So Darien, what makes you better than normal?
For myself, maybe if I go back to the same definition, I'm living in a place where I belong, which I think is in Singapore. It's a very safe country. In the community that I'm in, I feel very included in the community. In terms of my friends, my own religion, my Buddhist community, and with people I love. Yes, definitely, I'm with the people that I love, with my family, with my friends, my close friends, and my girlfriend as well. And often than not, we can't please everyone. There's so many people around the world. We can't really please everyone in our lives that comes in and goes out from our life. But I feel that we just have to really care and we show care and concern to the people that really matters to us, that really brings us happiness, and maybe others that really say things about you and sorts. We don't really have to take too much notice of that, take too much to our hearts, because when we really care about too many people and want to please everyone, at the end of the day, it makes us unhappy. And I feel that's not better than normal, and that's not living a good life. And lastly, doing the right work. I think I'm very fortunate to be able to do something that I like, something that is of interest to me, that can really help others and on purpose, all these things, I'm doing it intentionally. Of course, I won't say that I'm living the best life, because the best life, some people will say that, you need to have lots of wealth, need to be very wealthy to really lead that kind of life. But for me, being in the present moment, being able to lead the current life I'm currently living, of course, I'm also pursuing wealth. I want to accumulate wealth for myself. It's not say that to lead a good life, I don't need wealth. That will be deceiving everyone, right? Money is very important to lead that kind of life. But in the pursuit to reach, my life goals, I feel that living a good life now, because we never know what will happen in the future. Life is so uncertain. Living a good life now as well will make myself happy, will make myself happy on this journey towards reaching my life purposes. And I urge everyone to really find your life purpose today as well. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for that. That's really awesome. So tell us the origin of your story. How did you join the financial planning industry?
That actually will be a very long time back. But my first encounter with financial planning actually was in Polytechnic. I had a module. I was studying banking, finance, investments. I had a module on personal finance, but that wasn't. It was just a topic that I studied in school and didn't really leave a big impression on me. It really came when I I was going to ORD from a national service when I was 21, when I had a health scare, right? That was when I wanted to find out about my own, financial planning with my own personal insurance. What do I have? And I realized that I only have a health insurance. And that was when, I wanted to find out more about what kind of things I can get covered with, because I was quite weak at that point in time. I want to get myself covered properly, but I didn't know how to go about it. And personally, I don't have a very good impression of insurance agent, because they're always pushing you products, and not many Asians tell me about insurance. Most are there when I meet at the roadshow, they're telling me about buy investments, savings, etc. So I thought, why not I just go and find out about it myself? And I did an internship with one of the insurer when I was a student advisor, and that was how I entered the financial advisory industry.
Okay, wow. What a interesting background story indeed. So you mentioned a little bit about a health scare, and I'm very curious about that. So what kind of health scare did you experience before?
Oh, that would be quite a long story myself. Right. So back when I was 21, I was sharing, right? I did a medical checkup, which was necessary for all university students, right? I was going into NTU, so I did it with Fullerton Health. And it was just a normal checkup, but the doctor just called me back to say that there's something that he needs to discuss with me. So I went back to NTU, Fullerton Health, and then he just told me, there was something, a nodule found in the x-ray that I did, right? Just the checkup, they have x-ray, they have a blood test, all the normal things. And he said that it's a little bigger than normal, right? It's not better than normal, it's bigger than normal. It's a little abnormal, and he wants me to do further checkups. So he just told me to go to a specialist. So I went to Changi General Hospital, which is close to my house. I live in the east. Then I did x-rays, I did a lot of tests, etc. And actually at that point in time, I was quite happy because I was still in NS. I got to take the medical leave and off. So I thought, I got free off, and it was nearing ORD. That was a very happy period of my time when I'm going to start my new life, right? Then the shock came when after the test, I went back and the doctor was telling me, Darien, the next session, maybe you can ask your parents to come along. That was when I think, oh shit, why my parents need to come along? Must not be something good. Then it followed up with, the nodule is really quite big and it's quite concerning. And there's two possibilities to it. One could be lung cancer. Another one would be tuberculosis. So when tuberculosis is something that is the better option, you know that you're in quite a scary situation. And that was when I was very confused. Like, I was just 21, I had to face this kind of thing. So long story short, I did biopsy. They quickly arranged for me I cut a lot of queue to get the biopsies because it was quite urgent. And it was a CT scan, and actually it was a needle that they pierced from my back to do the biopsy from the back. And it was, I had quite a few operations in my life. That was the most painful one. I think the anesthesia wasn't working that well, right? And I need to be breathing. And if it was a local one, I need to be conscious to be breathing for them to do that test. So the biopsy, they take 2 samples. Luckily, thankfully, it wasn't cancer. But the second sample for the tuberculosis, the hospital lost the sample. So they just said they did a discussion, and they just sent me to TBC, which is a control unit of tuberculosis in Singapore, because back then, Singapore in 1960s had quite a bad flare-up of TB, and it was quite infectious, right? So they have a control unit that actually does all this for TB patients to go to, and it's at Tan Tock Seng, right, just at the infections unit. So I went there. I did a lot of tests and all. They keep asking me, do you smoke? I did spectrum test as cough. I did the skin test and all, but it wasn't, the results all turned out negative. So they are also confused. Like, there's a nodule there. It must be something, right? So they just started me on a treatment for TB, and it was a 9 months long treatment. I have to go down to the polyclinic every day to take 6 to 9 tablets of antibiotics tablets every day. So that was in uni. And that was when I just started uni. That was why I missed my orientation camps, because I was going to this place and they were saying that I was infectious for 2 weeks. And I was so scared, if I tell people I have TB, then, I might be ostracized, this kind of thing. And after that 2 weeks, I was considered not infectious, but every day before I go to school, I need to go to Pioneer Polyclinic nearest to NTU to take the medicine. I go back to school and I'll fall asleep in class because the medicine is quite strong. And I have to do blood tests every other few weeks to ensure that my liver is taking it well. So thankfully, after the 9 months of treatment, the nodule became smaller and it hardens, and I was discharged. Yeah, so that was my health scare, and yeah.
Oh, wow. So from this healthcare, right, and all the experiences you had to go through to fight on and pursue what's next, how did that change your perspective in your life?
I feel that during that period, actually that 2 weeks, when I did the biopsy to the time I get a result, that was the scariest part of my life. That was very uncertain. I think that applies to people with, they say that you might have potential cancer. That period when you are testing, that would be the most uncertain period. And for me, I was just 21. I was just starting my life. I just ended my 2 years of NS. I'm going to start university, going to have fun in life, going to have my own family, have my children or whatsoever. Then you tell me that a possibility of me having cancer. And yeah, I just couldn't take it for that few weeks. As a, why is it so unfair to me? I don't even smoke. I don't even do or any other those kind of things. And why am I the one that gonna this kind of thing? Then yeah, but how it changed my perspective in life is I was reflecting on life, on what is my purpose. What if I just have lung cancer and I pass away at this age? What would I have left behind? What would I have achieved in my life? Right? I'm just started and nothing much. Right. So I just felt that, life is really uncertain. After this incident, I had to take good care of my health. Also, I have to live life as if tomorrow or today is the last day I will be around, right? To really cherish life, to really live in the present moment. And that's when actually I got in touch with more towards Buddhism, because I came from a Buddhist family. When I was young, I go to Buddhist classes, but I didn't continue and follow through when I was in my teenage years, when I was in poly. That's when I got more in touch into my religion and to contemplate about life. What is life to me, right? If I work and until I'm 60 and I retire, then I go and enjoy my life. What if I just pass on when I'm 30 or 40 years old? Then all my plans of wanting to enjoy life in the future is really gone. So yeah, it's really to live my life in the present moment, but at the same time also plan for the future as well. Yeah.
Oh, definitely love that story that you just shared as well. So Darien, was a health scare a catalyst for you to join the financial advisory industry?
Yes, to a certain extent it is, because without the health scare, I will not go and review my own insurance, because I don't even know much about that. Even though I studied finance, insurance wasn't something that young people will go and think about. So it's because of this health scare, which is why I wanted to understand more about what coverage can I get, because I only have a basic hospital plan. And that's when I did an internship with one of the insurer, and I understand better, and I got myself a life insurance myself. A bit of regret now that I'm independent. I'm able to do so much comparison and see, where are the better options. But at the point in time, I didn't know lah. But at least I do have some coverage myself. And yeah, that was a catalyst for me joining the industry, because I wanted to learn more. But I was also very scared of the stigma of FA, being an advisor. So I didn't, during my 2 years there as a student advisor, I didn't do much. I just helped my own family, my close family, to get themselves insured, and that's about it. That's what I did.
Oh, wow. That's definitely awesome. So talking about coverage, right? Can you explain to us the difference between a tied FA and IFA?
Actually, I was a tied FA for quite a period of time. I was with one insurer when I was a student advisor. After that, actually, I went on to one of the big four to work after I graduated, but I just didn't really like the thing that I was doing. I felt that the purpose, my interest wasn't there. My interest was still in personal finance. Yeah, which is why I left after 1 year to join another tied FA. So a tied FA is essentially a agent, right, or a FA that is tied to an insurer. Meaning, if I come and meet you today, Bam, and I do some financial planning with you, end of the day, I only can sell to you, product from my company that I represent. And that's literally, I'm tied to the company. I can't really do comparison. In fact, it's against the MAS regulations to go and compare other different products, because I'm not carrying those products and provide advice on that, right? Compared to IFA is one that is not tied to any insurer. You have access to almost all the insurers in the market. You're able to do a good comparison on all these insurers and really recommend, the best coverage that you think is currently in the market for your clients. But of course, with that said, being an IFA doesn't mean that I will always give the best advice, right? Because we can think of it like I'm a doctor. I have access to many medicines, right? But when a patient comes to me, I can just give you the most expensive medicine because I want the profit, I want the margins there. So with that, yeah, even if an IFA, you need to have the ethics and be really, you want the best for the clients, and that's where clients can benefit from that. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for that. So what were the challenges you actually faced in the start of your career?
Challenges, I think when I was a student advisor, actually I made a lot of challenges myself because I felt that there was a lot of stigma in this industry. I was very paiseh. I don't want to reach out to people. I don't want people to think that I'm an FA. I want to push them products and all. So that was the challenge I faced, which is I just don't want to reach out to we call it the raw markets, our friends and family, because I didn't want them to think of me, because I'm very critical of myself. I don't want people to think of me as a pushy person that want to just do sales based on friendship. Yeah. So that was what I struggled with even when I joined the second Thai FA after my job at one of the big four. I was just doing pure cold market, which is just cold calling, right? Reaching out to people that I don't know. At least I felt that I feel that I'm actually harming people because I know that, there could be better coverage out there in the market, cheaper premiums, but then I go and push them the product I'm selling because that was the only thing I can do for them. So I don't want to harm my friends, my family. So I just do cold. At least there are people that I don't know. Right. But after a while, right, I felt that, they really trusted me and we became friends. Then my cold market become my warm market, and I felt that they recommend me to my family and all. And then I'm harming their family and friends. So I really felt that wasn't the way to go. Yeah, so that's why I moved to IFA. And even at the IFA, there are challenges as well. Now I'm not tied to one insurer. I have access to so many insurers that I need to do research on so many different insurance, and the learning curve is really, really high, really steep, which was one of the reasons I didn't want to join IFA, because I thought that I would be a lone warrior. Yeah. So yeah, these are the challenges that actually I faced at the start.
Okay. What a noble intention you have. So yeah, that's really good. So what do you enjoy most about being a financial advisor?
For myself, in the past, I know that, financial planning is important, insurance coverage is important because I experienced it myself. But when I was tied to a company, I just really wasn't enjoying what I was doing, because I didn't think that, the advice that I'm providing, the coverage that I'm providing is because if I don't buy, I don't think that it's good for myself, for my own family. I can't convince really myself to go and sell it to people, even though I know insurance is important, right? But what I really enjoy now, because I'm free, I'm able to provide unbiased advice, to do comparisons for clients, is that I know that when I meet people, I'm able to offer the best, if not the best, advice for people, the best coverage for people that I meet. And I'm really helping them to get themselves covered properly and educating them on the importance of coverages, as well as wealth accumulation, investing, and so on and so forth. And I'm meeting people, I'm really having that intimate conversations with them to understand about their life purpose and all. I think that's what I find very enjoyable in meeting that people from all walks of life and understanding them and helping them to reaching their life purpose for them. Yeah.
Oh, that's really, really good. We want to talk a little bit about the other side of the financial industry, the stigma. So why is there a stigma associated with financial advisors?
I think it really boils down to the industry as a whole, right? We are really commission based. We are sales based. If we sell something with high premiums, you get higher commissions to it. And the easiest people to reach out to is your close friends and family, which is why I think a very, very familiar situation will be your long lost friend, your secondary school friend calling you up for coffee, and then after a while they just sell you a product. Right? This is something that a lot of people experience. I experienced it myself as well when I was during NS and all, and it wasn't a very pleasant experience. And that's why actually there's this stigma there on people like meeting you for ulterior motives, right? Trying to upsell you products that might not be that good for you, but because they want to have that commission. And it's a very sales-driven industry. When I was tight, every week they will just publish your sales targets, your sales records, your sales figures. Everyone, they will rank you accordingly. And you will feel that competitiveness to want to go and achieve the best. And you are being recognized for having MDRT or this COT, TOT. But you're not recognized for planning well for clients, doing proper planning for that. So I feel that's why the stigma is there. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. That is a very good explanation indeed. Thank you for that. So are you bothered by the stigma that's associated of being a financial advisor?
It's definitely, I was really bothered when I was a student advisor, which is why I didn't even do anything. I just did help my close family did their insurance. But after I left, being tied to a company, I now know that with access to so many insurers and doing a proper comparison and really thinking of the best interest for clients, when I meet my clients, I know that I'm able to provide really good advice for them, and which is why actually the stigma no longer bothers me anymore. I am confident and I'm convicted in the services that I can provide, the coverages that I can provide for people, and the education that I can provide for my close friends, my family and all. And which is why, I'm no longer bothered by this stigma. And I hope that in time to come, this industry can move together as a whole to move more towards advisory instead of selling, right? Sales, yeah.
Yeah, that makes complete sense. That makes total complete sense. So Darien, what is one guiding principle that you swear by?
For myself, I think would be treat others the way you want to be treated, right? As a NS guy, as a student, I meet financial advisors, I meet people. I hope that, I'm able to, when I meet my clients, right, I want to treat them the way as though if I'm the client myself and I meet an advisor like me, I want this kind of advice to be provided to me. Good, unbiased advice that's at the interest of my client, the best interest, to help them to save on premiums, to help them to really do proper financial planning. Yeah. So that is the principle that I swear by. I really want to do what I want others to do to me, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very fair statement to mention as well. That's really good. So I have a question that is a little bit longer than usual. And the question is, what is Policy Owner Protection Scheme, PPF, right? And how does it protect retail insurance policy owners like me and you?
So this is a bit more technical. Policy Owner Protection Scheme is basically a scheme that is administered by the SDIC, Singapore Deposit Insurance Corporation. You also more people will know it as the organization that actually administer this scheme called the DIC, the Deposit Insurance Scheme, which is more commonly known as the 75,000 guarantee that actually the SDIC provides for local customers of banks. When you deposit money in banks, they'll guarantee you up to 75,000. Used to be 50, now it's 75,000. Yeah. So more people don't really know about the other scheme, which is a Policy Owner Protection Scheme. It actually provides similar kind of protection. It guarantees up to $500,000 of sum assured for policy owners like me and you. If you buy a policy from an insurer, where there's death benefit, there's critical illness benefit, there's a sum assured. It guarantees up to $500,000. This is in the event if, let's say, the insurer goes bankrupt, right? SDIC will step in and administer this. There's this PPF fund that actually all insurance company will have to put levies and money into this fund, of pool of funds. And in the event of any insurer going bankrupt, they will step in and use this money to tie them through, to get another insurer maybe to take over the policies of the current insurer or their policy owners. So with this scheme, right, people don't really have to be that much afraid that, their insurers can go under, because there are nowadays in the past few years, there has been many insurers coming into the market, in Singapore market, even though they're well established in their home country. But coming to Singapore, it's a bit more foreign for most Singaporeans. We are familiar with the top few insurers, but all the other insurers that are coming in, we are not that familiar with them. And then there is this thing that we want to insure ourselves with things that we are very familiar with, companies that are very big here in Singapore. They have roadshows everywhere that we can see, right? But what all these new insurers bring in is the new entrants, when they enter, they are able to price their premiums at very competitive rates. And in fact, not saying that their coverage is as good as those big insurers, but just that they are able to price at a more competitive price because they want to gain market share. And with this PPF scheme in place, right, it allows us to go and have a better understanding of all the insurers and see whether we can get insurance. If we want to get insurance, get from this kind of companies, these insurers, they are new to the market, they are able to price their products competitively, and at the same time your coverage is the same or if not better than those they're being offered by the bigger insurers in Singapore.
Oh, that's very good information. Thank you, Darien. Really appreciate that. How do I know if I am overpaying for my insurance?
Overpaying is something that if I'm tied with an agent that actually comes to me from a single insurer and tell me to buy a product from them, I don't really know if I'm overpaying it because maybe they tell me that to have this $300,000 coverage for your current age, you need to pay $5,000 a year. Is that a lot of money? Because if I don't have a point of comparison, I don't know what are the other insurers offering at the same amount, 300,000 coverage. What is insurer B, insurer C, insurer D offering? I can't compare, and I don't know whether I'm overpaying for it. So the easiest way is to find someone that has access to all these things, to find IFA that has access to all these insurers to really quote for you and do a comparison. And from there, you're able to see, in the industry, what are the other insurers offering? What are their premiums for similar coverages? And from there, you're able to see whether you're overpaying. And this is what we do. We do a lot of review for clients that think that, I might be paying a bit too much, but I don't know, am I overpaying for it? The review that we do will be able to help them to, have an overview and see whether what they are paying for is fair and whether are they overpaying for their coverages.
Oh, wow. Very, very good answer indeed. Very good. So, what are the 3 things people should look for when they are searching for a financial advisor?
Firstly would be the advisor or the FA should have access to, I would say, at least 4 insurers to make a meaningful comparison. If you are really coming from a single insurer, you can't compare for clients. They won't know whether, from a client perspective, I won't know whether I'm getting the best deal, right? I'm getting the best coverage because there's no comparison being done. So 4 would be a good amount of comparison to be done. So at least you know that out of these 4, I'm being recommended the best out of these. Of course, the more the merrier. If you have access to 8, 10, 12 insurers, that will be better. We have access to more than 12 insurers, the comparison that we do for clients. So a second point would be, putting the advisor have to put clients' interests in the first place. And how to ensure that? On the first session, if you meet your financial advisor, you can ask them, how can you safeguard my interest? Knowing that, your higher premiums, you'll get higher comms. How can you ensure that my interest is being safeguarded? And you listen to what the advisor says, right? I think the best way will really, it goes back to the same, just compare for the client and let them know, out of all these products in the market, the one that I'm recommending you is the one that has the cheapest premium or the one has the most affordable premium, but the coverage is still there. Of course, give them options as well. I always let my clients decide on which one is better for them. Some are willing to pay more for better coverage. Then of course, go for it. I get more comms as well. Yeah, right. And the last point would be the advisor need to be honest, right? And you can't tell whether someone is honest. So some people are honest. We are all honest. We try to be honest, right? But you need to see whether in the dealings, are they trustworthy? Are they competent in the things that they do? And we only can do it, we only can see as a client, we only can see by doing a bit of research, understanding about the coverage that you are going for and asking them the questions like, say, term versus whole life, which is better? If you know that actually term is better, then you can question the advisor when they recommend you whole life. Why should I buy a whole life when you can just buy a term plan, which is cheaper, which have better coverage? And by asking them these kind of things, you are from these interactions with them, you are able to tell, whether are they really thinking of the best for you, and are they really competent in the work that they do.
Very detailed indeed. Thank you. Should you consolidate and buy all your insurance from one insurer or agent?
And this is a question that many people would ask, right? Because if I don't buy from one agent, it's a hassle. I need to meet many different agents. I need to do comparisons myself. And I do have clients that do that. They meet agent A, agent B, agent C to get the quotations from all them and do their own comparison. And when I see the comparison, it's really just the tip of the iceberg. There's so many other insurers out there that a lot of agents don't really have access to, and they can't really do a proper full comparison. decent, right? So I always think that, and a lot of people always say that there's no one best insurer. Because if you are really best in every different aspects, there's aspects like your critical illness, your whole life, your hospital, your disability income, even accident, so many different aspects. There can't be an insurer that is good in everything. Because if you are really if there's really that insurer, then do let me know as well. Yeah. So if you accept the fact that no one insurer is best in everything, there is usually one product or one category that they are good at. That's why you need to, have the different, you should get the best coverage that you need from the insurer that provides the most comprehensive, the most affordable premiums for you. And do not hesitate to get from different insurers, because if you find someone who has access, like LIFA, who have access to all these insurers, they are able to get those for you, right? If you are looking for critical illness, you can go for maybe company S. If you are going for whole life, you can go for company C, etc. So you can do the arbitrage and really get the best coverages from all these insurers on the different kind of products, different kind of categories that you need, and really save on the premiums and maximize the coverages that you have. Because insurance at the end of the day is expense to you. You should try to reduce it as much as possible. Yeah.
What are the necessary insurances for every Singaporean?
I think the necessary insurance will be medical coverage, medical treatment insurance, as well as income, right? Income replacement insurance. And the most necessary for medical would be your hospital plan, right? A basic hospital coverage. And that's what most people would need, because in terms of medical crises, you have medical treatments, it will be covered mostly by a good hospital plan, right? On top of that, when we are young, when we are working, in the event of anything happening to us, we can't work, right? We will need income replacement as well. And this is a temporary need, because we will always retire someday. And once we retire, we have a retirement income coming in. So we don't really need any more income replacement by then. So a term policy will suffice for that. Yeah, so I think these are the necessary insurance. And lastly, maybe just a disability income insurance, which is your CareShield Life that everyone at age 30 will be automatically enrolled into.
Oh, okay, thank you. So is term insurance or whole life insurance better?
First, there's always people from different camps. A lot of people, some say whole life are better, some say term are better. For me, I'm at a camp of term insurance, because as I was sharing, for term insurance, it's a temporary need, right? Mainly for the lifetime, for the income replacement, to replace our income in the event of anything happening, right? So we only need it during our working period, when we are, say I'm 30 now, until I'm 60, I plan to retire. We only need it for these 30 years. After which, you just need a very basic whole life coverage to provide you coverage for the rest of your life. And it's mainly for alternative medical treatment, because with the cancer drug list changes in April last year, now the hospital plan, right, does not cover some of the some cancer drugs that are not inside this list. So in the event of cancer happening and we need to take those drugs that's out of the list, at least we have a very basic whole life plan that we can cash out, we can get the payout from to do this kind of treatment. And a basic maybe 100,000 or 200,000 would suffice. You don't need to go for a very huge whole life coverage. And on top of that, just a term plan will work, and it will just stop when we retire. And from then on, that's all you really need.
Okay, thank you. Buy term and invest in the rest. What are your thoughts on this?
I think this is a very popular motion going forward. A lot of people are saying buy term and invest the rest. And I really concur with it as well. Because insurance is just supposed to be term. Because let's say hospital plan, it's a term insurance. It's like you pay as you use. You don't get anything in return. All the other insurance, like your accident, all these are you pay and then you don't get anything in return. So insurance is a term policy, right? Whole life is only for people that really, if you don't invest at all, then maybe you can go for a whole life. So they will protect you, and as well that you can get some small returns. But if you do invest, definitely you should buy term and invest the rest. But you must go through with the motion of investing. A lot of people buy term and spend the rest, and then you'll be better off getting a whole life coverage. At least you have a bit of savings there.
Yeah, that makes complete sense. Why should one not buy an insurance or investment plan just to support a friend?
I think a lot of us, we face this dilemma when our friends come to us for us to support them to buy an insurance product. But insurance is a long-term commitment, especially if you go and buy a whole life plan, you buy, let's say, endowment or investment. It's not something that you can just stop because you incur losses, right? Surrender charges along the way. So you should separate, in doing your own personal financial planning from, supporting a friend. You can support your friend in many other ways. You can buy them a meal. You can even transfer them money. You can support them in many different ways. Buy them a gift. You don't have to support them by putting your financial future into debt. Right? You should only get the coverages that you need. Right? Not just because you get it just to support a friend. Because in this industry, there's a lot of attrition rate. There's people changing in jobs very often. They will leave the industry, and once if they leave, your main purpose of buying this plan is to support your friend. And once they leave, then what does the plan do, right? And a few years down the road, you might realize actually this plan is not very necessary to me, and that's when the friendship will suffer from that point. So I don't ask people to support me and buy insurance policy from me. They really have to know that this is necessary for them, and they go ahead with it.
Oh, okay, thank you for that. And there are many instances where financial advisors leave the industry. So our concern is, how will I know if you're not going to leave the industry? And how long would you plan to stay in the financial industry?
I think that's a valid concern because as I was saying, a lot of people will leave this industry, right? For me, my life purpose, I think I found it, which is to really provide good financial advice, financial planning for people. And I'm very interested in finance and investments, which is something that I can be doing for my clients as well through investing and all. So with this purpose in mind, I'm very clear that I will be in this industry for long because this is what I like to do, and I see value and I see it brings happiness to me to help people to plan for the best and really get the best coverage for themselves. But of course, with that said, life is uncertain. I have my health scare. I could just pass away tomorrow due to maybe a car accident or whatsoever, right? But yeah, with that in mind, right, this makes it even more important to get coverages because you need it, not because the agent is your friend, not because you trust the agent, right? If you need the coverage, and if in the event that the agent leaves the industry or is no longer around, at least you know that this coverage is what you need for the rest of your life. And you have other advisors that are supporting you, which is why I feel it's very important to have a team that have the same ethos, that have the same work ethics and values, and they share the same values as you, so that even if you're no longer around, you know that your clients are in good hands. Right, will not be getting upsell or not be treated as orphan clients. And yeah, that's what I think.
Oh, okay. What are the 3 reasons to start investing early?
The first reason would be more towards compounding. Everyone knows about power of compounding. It's very cliche as it sounds, but really, if you start early, you have a long runway to compound your money, to make your money work harder for you, right? The second reason would be volatility in the market. When we start investing early, we have, like we say, the long runway. We are able to ride market cycles. Right, markets will definitely go up, will definitely go down. That is a certain, right? But if you have the time horizon to really ride the markets when it goes up and down, and not coming in and out of the market here and there because we are scared of the volatility, or we don't have enough time to really ride the market, then the short-term volatility will be reduced, right? We are not, over the long run, we ride up and down. Our average market is always uptrending. It's always a uptrending market. Hence, if we invest, if we are here earlier, we can invest for the longer term, and hence getting, better returns, better than normal return. And the risk of, getting negative returns is also lesser. Yeah. And the last reason to be more towards experiences. When we start early, we always have mistakes that we make, and we need to learn about all the different investment vehicles out in the market. When we start early, we can learn more. We can learn all these things at the earlier stage. Maybe when we are still studying, we pay our kind of tuition fee. We pay lesser amount because we invest less amount. But we know about all these things, and in the future, we will not make such mistakes when we really start working, when we really can start investing our income. These are the reasons to start investing early.
How long or short should we be investing for?
I think, of course, the longer the better. Of course, you need to have a goal in mind. Like why do you want to invest in the first place? Because putting money in the market is very risky. Why would you risk your money in the market? You want to get higher and better returns. For what reason? The purpose is important, maybe for early retirement. So if that's the case, and we want to invest for long, because history and studies have shown that if you invest for long term, right, you will always, most often than not, you will get positive returns and annualized returns. But the shorter you invest, higher chances of you getting negative annualized returns, which is why if you have the time horizon, you should invest as long as possible to ride the different market cycles. Yeah.
DCA versus lump sum investing, which is better?
DCA is also known as dollar cost averaging, right? Of course, if you are very well informed in the market, you know how to really time the market and all, definitely go for your lump sum, because if you invest now, right, you are able to make more returns if you know that this is the market bottom, right? But otherwise, right, for people who are not so experienced in investing and all, dollar cost averaging might be better in a way where we are able to invest on a regular basis, regular interval. Yeah. So no matter whether the market is up or down, we just invest monthly on a regular basis. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for that. How should someone construct their investment portfolio?
I think firstly, a person that wants to construct their investment portfolio need to understand themselves first. Whether are they someone who has high risk taker, who is very conservative, who can't sleep at night if they see a lot of losses, maybe 10 to 20% drop in their portfolio. Right? By understanding yourself, you will be able to better construct your portfolio according to what your risk level, risk appetite is. And using the modern portfolio theory, having a mixture of different asset class like equities, like bonds, will help you to diversify your assets and reduce the volatility, reduce the risk that you are taking on. Even though the returns might not be as high as putting everything into equities, but at least the returns will be quite significant, quite meaningful returns. But at the same time, your risk will be way lower than just putting everything into equities into one asset class. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. Tell us more about Holistic Wealth Planners, or HWP, the model portfolio.
Yeah, so HWP, our model portfolio, is a portfolio that we design for our clients. Right, it's managed by our investment team, which include a director who is actually a CFA holder himself. He has been managing assets since 2016. He's managing around, in cumulative, our whole team, around 60 million of portfolio size of people that are actually investing actively with us. For those that, because we are a broker ourselves, right, we have people that just want to invest on their own through our brokerage account, total around 300 to 400 million of assets together with us. But the active one will be around 60 million. And we have two portfolios. One is the global capital growth portfolio, which is more towards for young people that wants to invest, they want to accumulate their money, right? This is where you can see more growth. And there's also a global dividend portfolio, which is more for the people that are looking to have passive income coming in, lesser volatility in their portfolio. Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. What strategy would you adopt in constructing your model portfolio?
The strategy that actually we adopt for our model portfolio is what we call a core satellite strategy. Right? Think of it as a solar system. You have the core which is the sun in the middle, and you have satellites revolving around it. So our core will be a fund that is a globally diversified fund that have access to all the different markets, not just US, but the emerging markets as well. And the satellite will be different areas that we think might be having potential, and due to the market changes, market movement, like high interest rate, what kind of asset class will likely outperform when interest rate really starts to fall in the coming years, right? And for us, our satellite approach currently is more towards Asian equities as well as global bonds, right? Because we are anticipating a slow fall in the interest rate in the coming years, which bonds will likely benefit from this. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for that. And here's a little big question that we want to ask you, which is, why should someone invest through you?
Yeah, I think this is a lot of people ask me this question. Why should I invest through you if I can just invest myself? Right? Of course, if you are a very savvy investor, You know about all the things, you know about the different assets class to invest in, the different allocation, you can control your own allocation. Definitely you should go ahead and invest yourself, right? Because it will reduce the cost that you are paying for your investment, and you'll get higher returns from there. But there's also another group of people that have no experience in investments, have no knowledge on investing, but they know the importance of investing because there's high inflation. They want to make their money work better for them, right? So with that, right, these are the people that we want to help, right, to really start investing and to have the discipline, right, to invest through difficult times, right, periods of market recessions. People will be afraid, and they will, even if they know that, I should invest in maybe in the index or but they don't really follow through with it because there's fear in the market, and they will just stop investing, right? So this is what we do for clients. We handhold them along the way, right, in times of uncertainty, in times of market downturn. We will sit back and we will ask them to take a step back and look at their main reason why they want to invest in the first place. Could be to retire earlier, right? Then that's a very long runway for them to work towards their goals. And then this short-term volatility shouldn't be that much of an impact to them, right? And in fact, in times of market downturn, our clients do actually invest more. When they have their draw power, they will invest more. We will encourage them to put more money into it. And these are the things that we do by it's more of behavioral coaching for our clients, and as well as lastly to plan for their withdrawal, because when you invest, there must be a goal in place. You don't invest just because you invest, right? You don't know when you want to exit. So we plan the withdrawal strategy for our clients. How do they withdraw when they reach their goal? And how do they slowly move out from fully into equities into more towards capital preservation when they have reached, a certain amount of money? Yeah, so these are the services that we provide, and we do a monthly update to our clients as well. So this is why they will choose our service, even though they could do that themselves.
That's very good. That's very detailed. Is retirement compulsory?
I think retirement is not compulsory. There are people that really enjoy what they are doing. For myself, I enjoy what I'm doing. There are many people that tells me that they don't want to retire. When they retire, they're doing nothing at home. It's very boring. So for these people, retirement isn't compulsory. If we can do what we like, and if this brings us joy, we continue doing it. But there are also others that actually work to really build up their money. And once they retire, they want to do other things. They have other purposes in life. Like they want to do volunteering, they want to travel around the world and all. So for those, retirement is something that they are working towards. And in a sense, it's a need for them now, because if they don't, retire, then they can't go and do all those things that they want to do, which is not their job, right? So yeah, retirement is not compulsory, but it's something that if you have other purposes in life after a certain age, then it's something that we should work towards, something that we should plan for. But what I think is good to have is financial freedom, which is, once you reach a certain age, you want to be able to have the option of retiring, right? You don't retire if you like your job, but if you don't like the things that you're doing, you can just go ahead and retire and do the things that really matters to you. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. What does an average Singaporean need for retirement?
I think I usually will split it into 3 different stages during retirement. When we just started retirement, I call it the go, right? We are, let's say 55 or 60. We can still travel around, or we can do the things that we want, right? To around 70 years old. So we can go around, we have energy to do all these things. And this is a stage where, we will usually spend more, and we should allocate more income for those periods. And from 70 to 80 is the period of slow go, where we really slow down a lot, and we will spend more towards medication, spend more towards supplements, and so maybe hiring a maid to take care of the household. And 80 and beyond will be what I call no go. From 80 and beyond will be more towards, having sitting and just really enjoying the last part of our life with our family, with our grandchildren and all. Yeah.
That makes complete sense. So how do we cater for these retirement expenses?
Yeah. So usually our framework, right, is to have 4 different levels of passive income coming in, so that we can cater for all these expenses when we are at our go, when you're at a slow go, and the no-go period, right? The first level would be your basic CPF life. Getting, if you're just a basic retirement sum, currently full retirement sum is getting around $1,500 per month when you're 65 years old. And the second layer would be towards endowments, towards savings plans, towards things that are guaranteed, or that provides you guaranteed returns. Even if there's a recession, even if there's a market correction during your retirement, you will still get that amount of money coming in. And these two will make up the necessary expense, which is things like your food, your transportation, your utilities. These are things that you can't go without. They're our basic needs. And on top of that will be the discretionary expense. And these are funded by your bonds, your fixed income kind of investments. On top of that, maybe dividend stocks, as well as even growth stocks that you might have. These are the things that will fund for your expenses that are more discretionary. I mean, even if you can do without it for that 1 or 2 years, it's okay, like traveling around the world or eating at more luxurious restaurants. These are things that are not that necessary, but are things that we want in life, our bucket list that we want to achieve. But in the event when markets are down, we don't get as much income from there, we can forgo it for a while. And when markets returns back, then we can really enjoy those periods. Yeah, so these are how we plan so that we can get the guaranteed income, at least a base, maybe 2,000 to 3,000 as a base, so that even if market are correcting, we don't have to liquidate our investments just so to support our income. We have a guaranteed amount of money there for us. Yeah, and our investment can really work for us. And when markets are better, we can start to slowly withdraw the money out as well.
Okay, thank you so much. And that was Darien Lee from Phillip Capital. Thank you so much, Darien, for being here today. We really appreciate you, and good luck in your journey.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Thank you.